Beating the Heavenly Drum. Have you heard of it? It's a great Qigong exercise for, well, it's for the kidneys, and it's also really good for blood pressure, for hearing, for insomnia, for vertigo, for a whole range of different things. That's what we're going to be looking at in this episode of Qi Life. Okay, so there are actually two quite different Qigong exercises that are commonly referred to as beating the heavenly drum or beating the sky drum. We're going to look at both of those and why they both are referred to by the same name and how they connect. I'm going to get straight into doing the exercises because for a lot of you that's probably what you're interested in, but then afterwards I'm going to talk in quite a lot of detail about these exercises to help you understand them. Okay, so this is the first version of the exercise. Quite simple really. You just use a loose fist to knock up and down either side of your back, very clearly massaging your kidneys. I just did it a few times, but you want to do this until the whole area starts to feel warm and energized. Again, I'm going to talk more about this later on after I showed the other version of the exercise. And this is the other version of the exercise. A little bit more to it. We're going to use our palms to cover our ears, and then we're going to use our fingers to drum here, right at the base of our skull. Maybe you can't see it, it's raining right now, but I'm going to carry on. So this is what we're going to do. I'll show you first, and then I'm going to talk about both the exercises. Again, I just did it a few times, but we're using the middle finger to create some resistance so that we can flick and give a firm tap using our index fingers. So with that second version of the exercise, it's not going to sound like much on the video, but when you have your ears covered and then you tap back here, it creates like a deep, booming, drumming sound inside your head, like you're beating on a drum. And this is part of where the name comes from. Of course, the other one we were also drumming, knocking against our kidneys. Now, why are these connected? Well, in Chinese medicine, there's a connection between the kidneys and the sense of hearing and the ears. And so they both have the same name. Actually, these exercises get referred to as many things in Qigong by multiple names. You might have also heard of it as knocking on the door of life or knocking on the heavenly gate. You know, there's different names. But by stimulating and the kidneys, we help the hearing. Equally, by working up here with the hearing, we help the kidneys. They're connected. In terms of being the heavenly drum or maybe the door of life, the kidneys are considered to house the original qi, your essence, your spark, what gets you started. And so when we work with this energy, we're bringing out our original essence and the spark of life within us. Really quite important. The kidneys also control or support all of the hormonal functions through the body. So by making the kidneys healthy, we're making all of our hormone functions healthy. Now, the connection between the kidneys and the hearing. It's interesting, people have actually done studies on this, and hearing loss is much higher, or the rate of hearing loss is much higher in people who have severe kidney disease than those who don't. So there's a very clear correlation, even understood and recognized by Western medical researchers. If we think about this a bit further and what the kidneys are responsible for and regulate, and then how that relates to the hearing, The kidneys deal with the fluids in the body, and in particular the fluid pressure in the body. They control the level of salt within the blood, within the other fluids in the body, and within the rest of the cells. And this is why, you know, when people have bad kidneys problems, they often have issues with electrolytes and so on. But this then controls or influences the blood pressure, which then influences the hearing. When people have blood pressure issues, they often have unusual things go on with their hearing as well. There are other connections also between the kidneys and the inner ear. It's said that they develop at the same time in the embryo and so on. But by working on the kidneys, you help them to become healthy. Also in Chinese medicine, the kidneys are said to be responsible for the health and strength of the spine. And again, this is a lot to do with the movement of fluid around the spinal cord, you know, which comes right up here to the hearing as well. So we stimulate all of that, the fluids start to balance and move more freely, and this then helps the ears. Now, similarly at the ears, or how does this exercise work on the ears? Well, a lot of the issues that we have with internal fluid pressure are internal. They come from within us. And a lot of this comes from stress and things like this. And when we're stressed, we become very noisy inside. It's like we're generating our noise inside. And you're often not consciously aware of this, that it's noisy. But when you achieve quiet inside through meditation, beating the heavenly drum being one exercise that you can use, you really notice the difference. Like, I didn't notice. It seems so quiet now. What's different? Around you isn't any more quiet. You are more quiet inside. As a side note, the elemental alchemy sounds, which you can find if you look on the Long White Cloud Qigong website, are great for this as well, for quieting you down internally. So, this exercise, by creating this loud, and loud, it's not unpleasant, but this loud internal sound, stimulating here, affecting the blood pressure, it sends a signal by this tapping here to the blood pressure, which ties in with the sound, to release the tension and reduce the blood pressure. Interesting, eh? I don't know if I explained that very well, but that loud sound drowns out the other sounds and sweeps them away, and the body regulates and quiets down inside. I think the connections that we find in Chinese medicine are so fascinating. When we dig deeper, we can see the connection in Western terms as well, but they're often not so well understood. Whereas within these traditional Chinese practices, they're there, and we just have to dig a little bit deeper to find out or understand on a physical level how they're connected. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. Oh, how does this tie into balance and things like that? Well, how does it tie into sleeping? Well, again, when you quiet down internally, you can sleep because you let go of the internal stress. Balance, it's all about the health of the inner ear. When you take some of those pressures out, then the inner ear becomes healthier, the blood flows to it better, the energy flows better, and so on. Okay, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's you know, this channel, it's new, the Chi Life channel. Obviously I talk about different things all to do with Chi, to do with Qigong, to do with exercises. Some of them are a bit more conversational, some of them are a bit more instructional. I am planning to keep most of the deep, serious instructional stuff on the Long White Cloud Qigong website for sort of serious planned out videos about things. But I'll probably put some of these more sort of impromptu instructional type things on this channel. This video came out of a question that someone asked, and I thought it was a good idea to talk a little bit about these two exercises. One, because it'll help them, but also because there's this fascinating connection between them. And also, when I had a little quick look, I did a quick little search on YouTube and I looked at the videos I found there for this exercise. I didn't look deep, there might be some great ones, but the ones I saw, I was like, maybe haven't explained it all that well, so I thought this would be helpful to people as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, it would be really helpful if you could like, comment, subscribe, share this with other people. I am hoping to reach people with this channel and share interesting things about Qigong and about how we apply this to our daily lives. Okay, I look forward to seeing you on the next one.